And again, coming off another winning week. Obviously, Stallions are 4-0. How is it going? How is your Monday so far?
It's going good, man. Not the prettiest win, but any win in this league is going to be a good one. Enjoying my day off and just ready to hit the ground running next week. Looking forward to Philly.
Yeah, it wasn't the prettiest game, I guess. It was another close game, as pretty much every USFL game has been so far.
hmm
Um, from your standpoint, talking about inside the trenches and stuff, it was definitely a game you guys were tested. I mean, there was no doubt about it. Coming into the game, you guys had given up 3 sacks, I believe, the entire year. You guys gave up 4 sacks in this game.
hmm
And then on top of that, running lanes weren't exactly there for a lot of it. Running was a little bit tough, except for with, Miku got to get out a little bit on some zone reads. But were they giving you anything specifically that were giving you guys trouble, or what do you think it was that caused you guys a little bit of adversity in this game?
A lot of it was self-inflicted. Um, yeah, we gave up four sacks this past game. It's technical issues, and then one of them was on a screen. They read the screen pretty well. It wasn't a way for Alex to throw the ball away, so guys were already downfield. So just had to eat the ball. And a lot of it is things that we can fix, but we'll give credit. They were a good defense and a good defensive line, and we just got to keep getting better every week. And that was a good test for us. I'm glad we got it in the beginning of the season, so we can keep getting better.
Yeah, they're definitely a good defensive line. They're a big defensive line. They definitely got their hands up, tip balls, and
Yeah.
obviously affecting balls. A lot of people don't really understand this part of the game. So when you have a big defensive line like that, and they are affecting passes, what do you specifically do to get their hands down and stuff like that?
Try to for tackles and people on the outside, it's probably easier to cut. When you have those chances to cut, because even if you miss a cut, guy's still going to protect his knees, so his hands are going to be down. And then in the interior, you just got to take the fight to them. Make sure that they're worried more about the block than getting their hands up. So there's a lot of different techniques you can use, but sometimes, I mean, those guys are professionals as well. They're going to make plays. You just got to make sure that you're making more of them.
For sure. And obviously, you guys had some struggles before the game even started. You guys had a bunch of illnesses this entire week.
hmm
A lot of guys out sick. So, what were practices like this week? Were you guys basically like trying to quarantine away from the people who were sick? How much
Yeah.
on field work were you guys even able to do?
So going into the week, we knew everything started happening on Monday. It was 7 guys total, and Coach Holtz was telling us, "Look, we were only going to be going into the game with 38 guys, anyways. That's how many guys you're allowed to have active. There's not going to be a woe is me attitude. We're just going to play with the guys that we drafted. Everybody here was drafted. Everybody here was brought here to make plays. So now that some guys weren't going to be able to, other guys are going to have to step up." And he just letting everybody know that it's not one guy that has to do all the heavy lifting. 38 guys lifting one thing instead of one guy lifting something 38 times is going to be a lot easier. So that's really the mindset we went into with this week, and everybody was just taking up the next man up attitude. So
But what were practices like then if people were sick? Was it even more stuff on air than you were used to? Was it more like classroom like study work this week or what?
it was really the same type of practice. The only thing was that we didn't go in pads this week.
Sure.
Yeah, so it,
Okay.
it was the same type of setup. Maybe a little bit less plays because the guys are going to have to be taking more reps. But same setup, about 2-hour practices every day. Walk through 2 days before the game, then the really like real walkthrough the day before the game, and it was really a similar practice schedule. Only day that was different was Tuesday because that was the day when we all had to get tested that day and figured out. So we couldn't practice that morning because we were testing all morning, and then practice in the evening. And Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday went the same exact way as usual.
Okay. And one of the people who were sick was Jay Marr, who has been quarterback the past few weeks.
hmm
Um, and whether this was the reason for the decision or not, Coach Holt said before the game, obviously Jay Marr didn't really get to practice much this week.
hmm
Alex Magoo, the week one starter who had been out with an ankle injury, he got all the reps
hmm
and obviously was a starter for this week.
Yep.
So for you as a center and just as an offensive line, how much does that affect you? You went from one quarterback to another. A couple weeks later, you're going back to the original one. Does it
Mhm.
change much for you in terms of cadence, in terms of blocking, or anything?
No, well, with those two guys, not really. Both of those are Jamar and Alex are true professionals. Uh, Even when Alex wasn't playing, he was approaching the game like he was. In the first week when Jamar wasn't the starter, he was approaching the game as if he was. So it's really not that much of a difference. The cadence is all the same, and we know that we have a great chance to win with both of those guys back there. So um, we weren't too worried about that.
Okay. And then in terms of the actual game, obviously you guys played the Tampa Bay Bandits, ended up winning 16-10, low scoring game. There's multiple reasons for a low scoring game, but it was a struggle again in the first half, not a lot of movement.
Mhm.
And the touchdown drive that ended up happening in the first half, you kind of you drew a personal foul on
Yeah,
one, kind of got the drive going a little bit.
yeah.
What happened there? Were you jawing at him and got him to do it, or was it kind of unprovoked?
Not really drawing too much. I got a good grip on him, and I was trying to finish. Probably a little bit after the whistle as well. He didn't like that too much, and it just it's part of football, man. It happens. But I kept my composure. I'm glad I did, and helped my team move the ball a little bit. So that's always a good thing. So
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. It ended up being a big play on the drive, and then
yeah.
obviously the drive ended with an Alex Magoo, quarterback sneak for a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
On that play, he kinda broke down on the sideline to one of the reporters that he had the option to pass it if he wanted to,
Mm-hmm.
and he decided he was gonna sneak it the entire time, but, for him and for you, does he is he making that read to throw it or pass it, or to throw it or run it? And does he do anything different for you, or is it regardless you're going to show a run and try to blow it up in the middle regardless?
Oh yeah, regardless. I mean, I don't know what he's reading. I just hear quarterback sneak, and that's all I'm taught to do is make sure I get the
Okay.
nose off the ball and make sure I get the snap straight to the quarterback. So he has a lot of going on in his head, so I don't even want to try and think what he's reading. So I just snap the
Yeah.
ball and do my job, and then he'll do his. I'm glad it worked out.
Yeah. And obviously, big play in the game. That was the only touchdown for you guys.
Hmm.
Uh, kind of the hero a little bit was you guys' kicker, too, Brandon Aubrey, who's been really, really good this entire season.
He has been.
Uh, For those who don't know, this is his first taste of football. He was a soccer player, played in the MLS, played at Notre Dame, I believe, soccer. And specialists are obviously a little bit different in terms of their relationship in the locker room and stuff, anyways. But with him, he's truly getting dropped into this football culture. What's it been like with him there? Is he fitting in pretty well, or what's your thoughts with Brandon Aubrey so far?
Yeah, I mean, he does a job. He's only missed one kick. Made it pin guys deep. Like all our specialists are doing a great job. Snapper, punter, and kicker. Those guys are, they always hang out in a group. You can always tell the specialists from any team, like even
Hmm.
other teams that walking around, they always stay in their little three-man group. And but all our guys have been playing really well, and they're gelling well too. They're not standoffish. Like to get in the mix a little bit when it comes to conversations in the locker room and all that kind of stuff as well. So it's been a good mix.